Hello citizens, it's Southampton 1, Manchester City 4 in the FA Cup, and we're through to the semi-final. And that's the most important thing at the end of the day. You know, I said in the match preview that every match is important and every match is a cup final, and Pep called it the same in his press conference. He said that every match now is a cup final, and with the last 9 weeks of the season to go, it's going to be a battle and we're going to have to grind out results, and that's exactly what we did today. Now, I'm well aware that every time I criticise the team, I have City fans somehow in the comments saying I'm not a real fan, you know, that somehow by saying the team don't play well, you know, I don't really support the team. Well, you know, that's ridiculous. So here goes another few angry comments. In the first half, I thought it was quite an even match. You know, both teams started off quite well, and also in the match preview, I said Southampton were going to press us, you know, pretty hard. That we played them twice this season. We drew 0-0 at the Etihad and we drew 1-0 at their ground. And this game, they came in with two strikers. They played 4-4-2, and both their strikers pressed really hard to begin with. And Stefan, he's not Edison, you know, so they pressed Stefan because they realised that's a weak link in the back four. And many times, you know, he nearly got caught out. A couple of his passes nearly got cut, you know, out. And they won the ball back a few times in the final third. And that shouldn't be surprising either, because one of the stats going into this game is that they're the fourth team, like they're fourth place for winning turnovers in the opposition final third. So they've done it really well this season, and Hasenhutl's got them playing good football. So their 4-4-2 really caused us issues, and they hit the post early on, and they broke the offside trap, you know. And I think that came from us losing the ball on the halfway line, a common theme during that first half. Now, we grew into it, we played really well, and we got a goal, and it was a good goal too, you know. And was it deserved at the time? Probably, because we were dominating possession, we were controlling the ball, and we were creating the chances. And then suddenly, about 10 minutes left to go in that first half, Southampton kept winning every second ball. They won every header, they won every second ball. The City players, they just weren't into it. They were trying to get to half-time, 1-0 up. It didn't work. Southampton won a couple of corners, they looked a bit dangerous. And again, the equaliser, and one of the things I just said was they win the ball on the halfway line. It was a nothing ball by Cancelo, who's just chipped the ball up, and it's gone into the halfway line. The Southampton players win it because they're more aggressive. Ward-Prowse and Romeu were really good today at intercepting balls and really, you know, pressing Rodri and De Bruyne and Gundogan when they were about to receive the ball. So they win it, the counter, plays it through, and they score. And to be honest, Cancelo may have played a nothing ball, and I do kind of blame him because he had a bit of time on it. He could have done anything with it, but he just gave the ball back to Southampton. They countered. Well, Stefan should have come out. He should have been more assertive. Should have probably gone down to his feet, maybe him being harsh. But I thought he was too slow at rushing out, and he didn't do a good job of standing him up either. And Laporte puts it in, and it's 1-1, you know, own goal. And just like that, I'm thinking to myself, well, Southampton are now going to frustrate us. They're going to sit back. They're going to do a bit of time wasting. But in fairness, in the second half, they didn't. I think they sensed we were on the ropes a little bit, because at the end of that first half as well, there was a point where Laporte was yelling at Cancelo. Now, Cancelo, everyone says he's the best left back in the league. He isn't. He isn't a left back, and it shows it sometimes. He bombs forward, and he's great in the final third, but in our third, he makes some silly mistakes, and sometimes he likes to overcommit, and when he does, you know, teams playing behind him, and we've saw it against Tottenham, we saw it against Palace a couple of times last week. And we saw it today. Southampton did it to him as well. They recognised that when he commits, Laporte's not got that pace. And they exploit that sometimes. And Laporte was yelling at Cancelo, telling him to help him out and come back for the pass. And that was just before the goal. And then the goal happens. And you could see a couple of the City players' heads drop, and you're thinking, it's going to be one of those games again, isn't it? It's going to be one of those frustrating nights where we don't do anything. The second half comes, and Southampton started off well again. And they're pressing us, and we're struggling to, you know, play out from the press, because they are doing a really good job of it. High energy, working to a champ. And again, Romeu or Prowse, they're winning a couple of interceptions, and they're doing good stuff. Now, somehow we do win a penalty, and it was a penalty as well. Jesus was fouled. I thought Jesus had a good game on the right hand side. You know, I thought he could have done. I thought he wasn't really in the game in the first half, but in the second half he did some good things. And the thing about Jesus is he sometimes goes left, sometimes goes right, likes to drop the shoulder. The defender never really knows where he's going, and this was the same here. Walker-Peters trips him, it was a foul, it was a pen. De Bruyne steps up, and he scores. Now, one of the things I want to say about the penalties as well is that I saw recently what Henderson does for Liverpool, and I think someone else does it for Arsenal, and I'm sure there's another team as well. When your team's about to take a penalty, someone steps up and he intercepts the players who's trying to talk to a penalty taker. We don't do that. And here we saw a couple of Southampton players talking to Kev when he's holding the ball. He's just about to take the penalty kick. Someone's got to come in and stop him and move him away from doing that. Whether the referee, well, probably not the referee, but another City player should be doing that. The captain, Gundogan, should have done it. Anyone. But anyway, Kev steps up and he finishes it. It's a good penalty. It's right in the corner. I thought Forster was unlucky. He got a hand to it, but he just went over it, and it's 2-1. And from then on, for some reason, City turned up because the subs came on. Foden came on and Mahrez came on. Now, I was critical of Mahrez last week, and I thought rightly so. I thought the front three last week were poor. I was also critical of Foden because in the middle, I don't think he does enough. But today, I think they came on and they made a big difference. Foden's high energy, and straight away you saw that because Forster was forced into a couple of, I think twice in 2 minutes, Foden was closing Forster down and he kicked the ball straight out of play in the halfway line, and we got the ball back. And like I said, Mahrez is really good. I think he was unplayable today, actually, watching him. He came out on that right hand side and he worked hard. He did a bit of defending too, so I put a tackle in. And there's a couple of times when we were playing out from the back with him and Walker, and then he just chips it over the top for De Bruyne to go break with. Beautiful. And he took his goal well too. You know, he shaped up to hit a far post, but he goes near post instead. And that was 4-1, but Foden got the third. It's a screamer as well, wasn't it? You know, De Bruyne tries to chip into the box. I don't know where he's going with it. Salisu, I think, gets a touch onto it, falls to Foden off his thigh, then smashes it left foot. That's Forster, no chance. And then once we went 4-1 up, then we started playing the good football. Then we were passing. Then everyone was making. Then every decision we were making was right. You know, that's when we started playing like ourselves. But before that, before we went 4-1 up, I don't think we were playing like ourselves. I thought we were pretty poor. I thought our passing was slow. I thought the players' heads dropped a couple of times. And there's something to be said as well about Rodri in defensive midfield. He's our best DM. We do need someone to replace Fernandinho. And we're never going to play two DMs because of how we play. We dominate balls and we try and create chances. So we're never going to play two DMs. But in games like today, and in games like Palace, it just shows that, you know, it's easy just to play around and you just play the triangle or you play a 1-2 and he's gone, he's out the game. And that happened a couple of times today. And I'm not blaming Rodri for it. It's just the system we play. And teams are picking up on that. And teams are exploiting that a little bit more in that middle. Now, man of the match today was De Bruyne. That was the official man of the match. And I'd give it De Bruyne too. I think I saw it twice, maybe 3 times in that first half where he was covering Cancelo and he was in the left back position. There's a point, I think, when Southampton broke from one of our corners that De Bruyne took, and then all of a sudden De Bruyne's in the left back position clearing it. De Bruyne was phenomenal today. He was everywhere. He was on the right side, left side, he was in the middle. And like I said, he was in the left back position as well a few times. He was all over the pitch and he was phenomenal. Cancelo grew better into in the second half. He likes the outside outside of his foot cross. He put a good couple of them, and that's how we got a couple of our goals too. Sterling today, I thought he did okay. He should have scored. Kind of half dive, you know, with a diving header, kind of half went for a half. Didn't I think it was a little bit? I think he more flopped and dived for the ball. Should have scored. Should have made it 5-1. Like I said, Mahrez came on. He was brilliant. Grealish, you know, I thought Grealish did okay. He had a fairly quiet game, but again, in that first half, towards the end of that, you know, the whole team kind of dropped off. And like I said, I think when teams are frustrating us, like we saw against Palace and we saw against Everton through most of that game, and today too, there's sometimes the same players' heads drop, and when they do, we don't seem to click. We don't click into gear. I don't think it was our best performance today. But we got the job done, and like I said, when we went 4-1 up, when we turned it on, that's when we became the City we know. Now we got 9 weeks of the season left, and we got Burnley away next in the league. That's going to be a tough game, isn't it? Because they're going to defend well, they're going to fight for every ball, and they're fighting to stay alive in the Premier League. So every game's important, every game's a cup final, and hopefully we can come through it. Now, I hope you liked the video, and I hope you hit the like button, and if you haven't already, do hit the subscribe button too, because it really helps, honestly. Just come in, just drop in, let me know in the comments what you thought of the game, who you would give man of the match to, and yeah, if you think I'm being overcritical about being a team sometimes, do you know what? That's what being a fan's all about. You're allowed to be critical of a team. I don't have to think City are the best team in the world every single match, because I don't think we are. And today, for large parts of that game, we weren't. Or in the last 10-15 minutes, we just clicked into gear. And I think a lot of that comes down to Foden and Mahrez. Well done them. Yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking it out, as always, and hitting that like button. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.